All right, listen, I am going to talk now, potentially against my better judgment, about the record explosion of anti-Semitism in the US and around the world. And I'm going to admit something to you. I've been delaying doing this segment because I'm sort of scared to do this segment. And here's what I mean about that. This is not a segment about Israel. This is a segment about anti-Semitism rising globally, where Jews are actually being targeted. This is a segment that has nothing to do with the justification or lack thereof for any kind of strike by the Israeli government. This has nothing to do with that. And in fact, the actions of the Israeli government, a government that many people, Jews and non-Jews, disagree with, is not a valid reason for anti-Semitism around the world, any more than it would be legitimate to target random Muslims in Michigan because of Hamas's action. Both are wrong, okay? I would normally talk in a bunch of detail about Joe Biden's new plan to combat anti-Semitism, what we're seeing on campuses, Jewish leaders in the United States being genuinely freaked out, my Jewish friends coming to me, not quite with tears in their eyes, but close, to say, I am genuinely scared about the rise of anti-Semitism that we are seeing. But I know that unfortunately, many on the right and some on the left will react by saying the anti-Semitism is valid. The anti-Semitism is logical because of what Jews are doing in Gaza or whatever the case may be. And that is an insane conflation and an extraordinarily dangerous bit of rhetoric. But let me tell you some of what's been going on. Anti-Semitic threats at Cornell University. A student there, Patrick Dye, has been arrested for making threats to specific Jewish students on campus. Posters of Jews who are being held hostage by Hamas are getting ripped down in New York City and elsewhere, leading to groups of people defending the posters, and scuffles and fights are breaking out. A mob in the Russian Republic of Dagestan stormed runways at an airport, bloodthirstily seeking out Jewish passengers, if you can imagine that. Colleges have been bracing for anti-Semitism and violence, and it is happening. We have reports that open hatred of Jews is surging globally. Anti-Semitic graffiti in Germany, in Paris, Jewish homes marked with Stars of David. Jewish students at Columbia University terrified, demanding action about rising anti-Semitism targeted specifically at them. The FBI says that anti-Semitism is at historic levels. The scariest part of all of this is that some Jews are being told, you're just wrong about what counts as anti-Semitism. And that's a really scary part of this. Contrast this, we are rightly told when black folks tell us what's racist, we should listen to them because they're telling this to us based on their experience. When LGBT folks tell us what is homophobic or transphobic or whatever the case may be, we say, hey, we should listen to them because they're the ones experiencing it. And shockingly often, when Jewish folks say, hey, this is anti-Semitic, we have non-Jews who say, you don't know what anti-Semitic is. Let me tell you what anti-Semitic is, and you're wrong. This isn't anti-Semitic. That's not anti-Semitic. A horrifying double standard being applied in terms of who is allowed to tell us whether they are being targeted by anti-Semitism or racism or homophobia. So listen, I'm not going to spend a bunch more time on this because quite frankly, I know that this story will not be interesting to a lot of my audience. And it will trigger a lot of people into just writing me absolutely horrible things. So this is happening, anti-Semitism at record levels. It is not legitimate to target random Jews at Columbia University because you don't like what the Likud party in Israel is doing in Gaza. It's just not legitimate. And maybe we'll leave it there. It's horrifying and it's scary. And we'll take a break and come back and talk about some other things. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the U.S. alone. So toilet paper is a big contributor to deforestation and climate change. Our sponsor, Real Paper, makes toilet paper from bamboo. Bamboo plants keep growing, which means no deforestation. Bamboo also absorbs 5 times as much carbon from the atmosphere as pine trees. And bamboo toilet paper is stronger than regular toilet paper and even softer. So bamboo toilet paper is all around a win for you and for the environment. It's time to move on from that toilet paper from trees that you're using at home. When you use real paper, it doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything. It's soft and fluffy, and they'll ship it to your door in plastic-free packaging on a schedule. Super easy. With every box of real paper you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts across the country through their partnership with One Tree Planted. So unlike the toilet paper that cuts down trees, Real is helping to actively plant them. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use code Pacman for 30% off your first order and free shipping. The link is down below.